welcome to Soap Secrets. It's Christmas! There's a song in there somewhere. Hello, Claire. How are you?
Hello, Hannah. Merry Christmas.
Thank you very much. Shall we crack open the baby sham?
Yes. I'll have one of them, please.
Thank you very much. No episodes of Casualty and Holby. No. They return in the new year. So we'll dive in, shall we? Dive into Corrie.
So I'm going to ask you, first of all, to see if you've been listening over the past couple of weeks. Can you tell me how many Christmas weddings are there in the soaps?
Oh, no, you put me on the spot. 3.
That's correct. Yes, there are 3.
I have been listening. Excellent. So the first of the Christmas weddings, though, is Emma and Curtis in Corrie.
Yes.
Tell us how it goes.
Yes. So last week we saw Emma have a little bit of a wobble, didn't we, Hannah? She said, "I can't marry you, Curtis." And so what actually happened last week was to why she really said, "I can't marry you," is because she found out all about his lies and that he had made his terminal heart condition up. So that was a big blow, wasn't it? She thought he was Mr. Perfect, Hannah.
Yeah, I know. That. Do you know what? It is the thing is, it's really sad because you want it to work, but at the same time, of course, it's a wedding and a soap.
Yes.
Something's going to happen.
Yes. So they had a big chat, and she made a decision that yes, she would go ahead with the wedding. So here she is. It's Christmas time, and she's nervously getting ready, and she is so gorgeous. She's wearing this amazing pink dress. She looks lovely in pink, Hannah, and she's got this it's got all this netting. It's almost like a ballerina's dress. It's super nice, really, really lovely. I thought it was gorgeous, and. But yes, so there she is, nervously getting ready, and then she's at the place where they're going to get married, and as we cut to another scene where Steve tells Amy that the money he asked Curtis to pay into Oliver's fund doesn't seem to have turned up yet. Now, last week, Steve got a little bit drunk and he had some money and he needed to put it into Oliver's fund, and so he gave his debit card to Curtis and asked him to do it. And the money hasn't turned up. And then we see Curtis looking at flights.
Oh,
Will he make or break Emma's heart this Christmas?
You know what? The sad thing about this is that there she is forgiving him for his lies. And actually, or is he that duplicitous? Well, is this just a cunning ploy to send us off the scent? That's what I'm wondering.
It's a very good story. It is really, really good because Curtis started making stuff up when his parents divorced, and it got him attention, and he just carried on. But I think really he does need therapy now. I think
he's gone a step too far now.
Well, yeah, especially to say you've got a terminal heart condition is it's really quite something.
That's quite something. Yeah, I would agree. Now, favourite storyline of all time over this year for me in Coronation Street is Tyrone and Fizz, and Tyrone is really full of hope, isn't he? Because Fizz cancels the holiday with Phil in Scotland so that the girls can see him on Christmas Day.
Yes, Hannah, yes, that's true. But you know what? I think Fizz is trying to make this modern family work. And so the girls, Ruby and Hope, would like to see Tyrone, their dad, on Christmas Day. So she says to Phil, "Hey, it's Christmas. The girls would really like to see him. Get presents, take presents round, etc." It's just as we all do. We go and see other people, and they didn't really want to be up in Scotland without their dad. So Phil he's got his shine back. He says, "Yeah, that's fine. We don't have to go." And but Tyrone thinks, well, they've cancelled a holiday in Scotland. They must miss me. Maybe there's hope. And Evelyn, I love Evelyn, he's grand, just says, "Don't be so deluded."
Yeah, and do you know what? It's got his comeuppance. This was always going to happen, wasn't it? When we first sort of talked about this storyline, we were kind of, is this going to end up where she'll have the last laugh? And here we are at the end of the year. And, of course, Phil's playing a absolute blinder. I mean, he's either an absolute gent and totally gets it and is doing all right, or he's thinking, yeah, OK, I know your game, that's fine. Yeah. But either way, I think he's a bit of a keeper.
I think he's a keeper. So I think Phil thinks Fizz is a keeper, and this is why he's moving very quickly. He's seen Fizz is. He likes her. He wants a family. He's going, this. He's made his decision. And I think some people never make a decision, but he's made his. So he wants the girls to call him stepdad. We've seen him already be very good with homework, and he's, nobody's perfect. We saw him having issues with his slightly demanding mum, but, no one's perfect. And then he tells Fizz he's found a family house he wants to buy for them. Maybe there'll be a wedding coming up in the new year.
Maybe, and nice to see her happy again if she is, and having the last laugh.
Yeah, completely. I think it's lovely. I think I've always liked Phil, and he wears a nice lining shirts, and here he is doing everything right at Christmas.
That's the way to Claire's heart, folks.
Nice lining shirts.
And I think these festive episodes really do show why Corrie is, the top of the soaps and has been pretty much all year, hasn't it?
Yeah. They've got some classic lines in here. There's a couple here I'd like to talk about that aren't the big stories. Obviously, the Fizz tie is a big story. The Emma Curtis wedding's a big story. But these are just throwaway lines that's just going to make you smile. So Hannah, Eileen gets a Christmas present from George that's so bad he needs to go to classes to learn how to be a partner. I don't know if they run them, but they need to.
I love it.
It's so bad. I'm not going to tell you what it is because that would give it away. But let's just say an ironing board would have been way better.
Wow. Wow. Would it have put Anne Widdecombe to shame?
Yes. No, please don't do that. And he has. So that's just going to make you go, what? And then, and then to make it worse, on New Year's Eve, Adam takes Sarah out to a posh hotel for a meal and a night away. That sounds nice, doesn't it, Hannah?
It does sound rather nice.
You'd like your husband to do that, say yes.
I would very much. I might just drop him a note.
But unfortunately, Adam's picked the wrong hotel, and he is recognised by one of the waiters at the hotel, and it is the one where he took Carla for their one-night stand a couple of months ago. So I'm not sure there's going to be a happy new year in that household.
I think it's safe to say that's not a way to kickstart 2022. Oh dear. And there's a miracle.
Yes.
To end on a lovely note.
Yes, there is. It's a Christmas miracle.
Of course, there is always a Christmas miracle.
And I'm not going to give anything away because you'll be in floods of tears. All I'm going to say is Abby gets an amazing surprise from Kevin by way of her late son, Seb.
Oh, it's all going on. Do you know what? I think it's picking out those lovely little bits, actually, in the soaps. They're the bits that kind of are the cherry on the cake, really. They've got some big storylines there, but these are the bits that really... Lovely. Yes. Right.
You won't want to miss any episodes of Corrie. It's good all the way.
You never do. What about Emmerdale, though? Because there isn't a Christmas wedding in Emmerdale.
No.
Because we obviously had one last year when Chaz and Paddy married. But we do have a proposal.
Yes. I think a proposal's almost as good as a wedding at Christmas. So, although
I always think it's a bit of a cheapskate because you bought a ring and not a present. It's a double whammy, isn't it?
Have to wait and see. So while Kim was away a couple of months ago, Bernice tried to steal her boyfriend Will, and
yes,
Bernice, she can't keep her knickers on, can she, Bernice?
I love Bernice.
She is great. And this week, Kim finds out what's been going on between Bernice and Will. But what will she do? But she does something quite nice. Well, it's an odd Christmas present, I suppose. On Christmas Day, Will discovers there's a big hole where Malone's body used to be. Because as we remember, Will buried Malone's body on home farm ground. And fearing Kim will use the info to blackmail him, Will confronts her. But in a shock move, Kim tells Will she moved the body so that he doesn't feel under threat from her. So I love this storyline because that's the second time that body's been moved, Hannah.
Has it decomposed by now?
Well, I would say it's a bit gloopy. And then Kim says she moved it, but I'm not sure that Kim in her Prada suits and 4-inch heels is going to be manhandling a spade somehow.
No. So it takes it one step further, though, doesn't he? Because he feels so happy, and what a lovely thing she's done that he
proposes.
Hey, who said romance was dead?
Yes.
When they find there's a dead body there, but anyway.
It isn't dead, is it? Because that's all you had to do was move Malone's body.
And talking of bodies and death and all things very festive, Mina gets her knickers in a twist over the festive season, doesn't she?
Yes, massively. But she's a serial killer, so I'm not sure she's all there.
No, I would agree.
She moved on from David to Billy, and she's been trying. But we all know that Billy and Dawn really love each other, but for various reasons they weren't together. But now Billy has decided Dawn is the one for him, and Mina doesn't like being dumped, does she, Hannah? She really doesn't like being dumped. No. So she's trying to get Dawn out of the picture. And so, first of all, she brings Dawn's ex, Alex, back to the village to make mischief with Dawn's relationship with her son, Lucas, saying she's a bad mother, because she has had issues with motherhood, and her son was taken into care, but she worked really hard and got him back. So that's a really horrible thing to do, isn't it, at Christmas, trying to destroy a relationship between a mother and son. And when that doesn't work, she tells Billy she's pregnant.
Oh.
Dawn says, it doesn't matter, we can work round it. You can still be a dad to this baby, and we can be together. We'll be a modern family.
Wow, take a leaf out of Fizz and Tie's book.
Yes, modern family. But Mina doesn't like this, so she goes into overdrive when Smitten Billy then does finally dump her for Dawn. And her sister Manpreet is sniffing around. Now, Manpreet obviously is a GP. She's concerned for her sister. She says she's pregnant. She'll probably ask all GP-like questions, because whereas most sisters would go, congratulations, she's going, have you done this? Have you done that? And she's asking awkward questions about her pregnancy. And then Manpreet's just really unhappy about stuff, and she reaches out to Carol, the sister of Mina's first victim, Nadine. And this makes her think even harder. And when Manpreet's interference in Mina's plans for Dawn go too far, Mina picks up a broken bottle. Will she kill her sister?
I mean, this killing spree doesn't really ever end, and there's not much respite in between either, is there?
No, at all.
To kill your own as well. I mean, I didn't think she could sink to any new low, but she just is about to, by the sounds of things. Oh, and things are getting, tough for Al as well, because Gavin's back in the village, and that's never good news.
It isn't. Something big happens. Gavin is back in the village, and Al's already taken a beating, and he just can't seem to catch a break. He's getting very, very stressed. And this pub now has become a noose around his neck, a really big noose. Gavin is now threatening Al's two sons. So what will Al do?
What will Al do? He can't really catch a break.
No, he can't catch a break at all. Will he do something drastic? It's Christmas.
Well, yeah, I'd say it's Christmas. It's Christmas. The baby shower's going to our heads. Okay, moving on to Hollyoaks. Another great year for Hollyoaks, I must say. Kidnapped victim Darren is closer to getting to his captor Ethan to free him.
Yes. I said you asked me a couple of weeks ago whether we thought Darren would be free for Christmas, and I think we decided he wouldn't.
Yeah, we did.
And here he is, and it's Christmas.
And he's not free.
He's not free.
But when Maya turns up and Darren makes a run for it.
He does make a run for it. Will he get away from his kidnappers?
Well, it's Christmas. He's not going to, is he? Because he's going to be. Yeah, it's not going to happen.
I'm thinking this is going to run and run, because we have a sinister warning that hints that Maya and Ethan have even bigger plans for the village. So this is going to be really big, I think, in 2022. So
building something up here.
Yeah, and it's great. They do like it. They do really like a good kidnapping.
They really do, Tony. The list goes on.
Tony was out for months. It was great.
Yeah, out for absolutely months.
I had him in that pig pen for, I don't know, a couple of months. So.
It just feels like forever ago, don't you think?
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
I know.
And Imran is holding Misbah's rapist, Ali, hostage.
Yes. So this has been running for a couple of months, and we saw Misbah be really, really unhappy when Ali came back into her life because, he raped her and she gave birth to his son. Imran's holding Ali hostage is a confession, the only way Ali can save himself. But meanwhile, Misbah meets up with another of Ali's victims, Gina, to try and convince her to give a statement. Will Misbah ever get justice for what happened to her all those years ago? That would be nice if we saw Misbah get justice and all the other victims of Ali.
It would be nice. And I'm worried that it could be Luke's last Christmas. Cindy decides to make a special.
Yes.
Doesn't she?
Yes, she does. But, Luke's got early onset dementia, and it's very tough for her. It's really, really tough. And he keeps forgetting which sister he's supposed to be with. And he has an odd reaction to her Christmas decorations. He probably doesn't like them. And it's probably, how we all have filters and we say, oh, that's lovely, even perhaps when they're not to your own taste. So Cindy's tried really hard to make this the perfect Christmas. She's got loads and loads of decorations up. There's a tree, and she might have put stuff down the banister, one of those banister wreaths, all that kind of stuff. And, house looks lovely. But, has she set herself up for disappointment for, you try so hard and just everything keeps going wrong?
Yeah, that's the trouble, isn't it?
Yeah. But when Zara stumbles on something special, is Cindy's Christmas about to be saved? Be really nice.
That would be nice. We need some niceness in this storyline, please, Hollyoaks.
Yes.
And of course, Christmas wouldn't be Christmas unless the McQueens featured, because they make a very chilling discovery. Of course they do. That ruins their first Christmas in their new home.
Yes. Who knows what's going on in their new home? It's not
is it
very
ghostly. Remember the doll?
That doll used to freak me out.
Yeah.
It was a bit freaky, that doll.
It really, really was freaky.
Yeah. So with the McQueens, it could be anything. So what could it be? It just could be anything.
Sorry, I was going to say that Nana's got some big news.
I think for me, this is the bigger story, Nana. She has big news from the McQueens, and at the hospital she opens up about her health. Could this new information lead to a heartbreaking diagnosis? Nana McQueen, she makes Hollyoaks. We can't lose Nana McQueen. So this to me is a massive storyline.
That's a storyline, absolutely. And she's sort of holds it all together.
She's the glue that holds the McQueens together.
Exactly. Oh dear. And Martine's New Year's preparations are well underway, but she kind of feels that something or someone is missing.
Yes. She is. She's missing someone this New Year. And while she's at radiotherapy, for a cancer treatment, Felix gathers the masses together to make New Year's special for Martine. It's going to be a big New Year's Eve thing because it's Christmas and New Year is next week. So most of the soaps are ending on New Year's Eve, and then next week we have the shakedown from whatever goes down on New Year's Eve. Most people just go down the pub and snog a... We won't be doing that this year.
Won't be doing that this year.
Snog a stranger, but something big always happens on New Year's Eve, doesn't it? Massive.
Yeah, it does. It's a biggie, another biggie. And finally, EastEnders. Are they going to pull it out the bag for the Christmas episode?
Well, we'll have to wait and see, but they've got a couple of cracking good storylines. And Hannah, this is where we have our other two soap.
Of course it is, yeah.
Christmas weddings. And it's a double. I quite like this one. Denise and Jack are tying the knot, and pregnant Chelsea and Gray are getting wed at a double wedding. Now, if the wedding goes ahead, that means that policeman Jack's son-in-law, Gray, it means that his son-in-law is a serial killer. That's quite a good one, isn't it? Mind you, he's missed all the clues as our Jack.
That is very true. Missed all the clues.
He's living next door to a serial killer. I know, it's great. It's fantastic.
And what else is going on? Well, apart from the weddings, are they even going to happen?
Well, it's always, will they happen? Of course, Chelsea doesn't know that Gray is a serial killer. Actually, no one knows that he murdered his wife, Chantel, Cush and Tina. Whitney knows there is something terribly wrong with Gray, and she listens to his ex-boss's Laura's warning. But will Chelsea? And then she gets really upset, Chelsea, and she phones Whit in a terrible state, and Whit rushes round to calm her down. And while she's round at Gray's house, she starts looking for clues, Hannah, to see if she can find anything. And she turns up evidence that Gray killed Chantel.
Wow.
That is really big. Now, as the guests gather at the double wedding, Whit tells Chelsea what she's found. Will Chelsea believe her, or will she go through with the wedding?
And of course, Chelsea has had insight into things, the wheels coming off a bit, because he was pretty awful to Chanter, and she doesn't, doesn't like that, obviously, understandably, and also the fact that he hasn't got quite the cash that the life that she wants to live is not quite what he's got anymore.
Yes, but then I don't know. It's odd when someone says to you, your husband to be killed his first, killed Chantel, his first wife. What would you think? Would you think they want your husband to be? Does she think Whitney might want to make a move on Gray? Does she think that's ridiculous? I mean, it is quite a ridiculous thing to have said to you, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the thing is, if you love somebody, you don't want to believe that, and then you think it's sour grapes, and you don't want to believe it. It's all too late. So it will be very, very interesting.
Yes.
And Rocky's in a flap because his confessional letter that he wrote, a number of weeks ago now, admitting that he wasn't Sonia's dad but Dottie's uncle, Tom, has surfaced.
Yes, of course it has, Hannah.
It's always going to happen. Never write anything down, never tell anyone, never hand over a phone, never WhatsApp.
No. He wrote it down, and then he put it on a countertop, and I think it got muddled up in leaflets that had come through the door, that kind of paperwork, and so somebody went through it, and this letter has now surfaced. Now, he got into a bit of a flap as well, because he'd been invited to Sonia's for dinner and also to Kathy's. Now, who does he go to? His pretend daughters or Kathy, the lady he's dating. So he does something sneaky, Hannah. He fiddles with Sonia's oven and breaks it.
Oh.
So it's all round to Kathy's, so they have a huge Christmas lunch at Kathy's. That solves one problem. Let's break the oven and say, we could just go round to Kathy's, she's cooking anyway. So there they all are, sitting around the table. And Kathy, the woman he's dating, Sonia, the woman he's pretending to be the father of, and there's this letter.
Wow. I mean, it's all going to come out on Christmas, isn't it?
Yes.
It just has to.
Yes. It's a bit like the classic one of, when Den gave Angie her divorce papers over Christmas lunch.
Yes. Oh, my goodness me. Yeah, I remember that.
I think they got like 26 million, something like that, some massive viewership, massive. So anyway, that's classic EastEnders. But here we are having this letter saying, I'm not Rocky, my name's Tom.
Wow. And Christmas wouldn't be Christmas, really, if we didn't sort of include two people that have been very prominent this year, and that's Mick and Linda. Now, of course, Linda, we know, is on maternity leave, so clearly wouldn't be back in the soap. But, of course, for the soap purposes, Mick's in a spin because Linda doesn't make it home for Christmas.
No, he doesn't.
But he's all alone with none other than Janine, who is single and has a rather big crush on Mick. Doesn't everyone?
She has a massive crush on Mick. Mick's all family, we know that, and Janine's not quite as family as we would like her to be. So, yes, so she has a massive crush on Mick. And I've said this, they look really well together behind the bar. She's, his dark head, she's got lovely blonde hair, and there's kind of like the light and dark, and she's just got that kind of barmaid, kind of landlady attitude, So she can chat the punters up, she can do it all.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah. The trouble is, Janine, though, this is not a good mix. And I love this because Mick is just so Mick, isn't he? He's just going to not notice her in that, sexy Santa outfit and all that. I mean, that's just Mick, isn't it?
Yes, completely.
He wants Linda, and that's the end of it.
Yes. So as Mick schemes to get Linda home, Janine schemes to keep her away. Will there be kissing under the mistletoe, Hannah?
Oh, I hope not. But maybe if he's just a bit, tipsy, like we are on the baby sham, maybe. Who knows? Oh, Christmas is here. I hope everyone's in the festive spirit now. And this, if nothing else, this will make your Christmas seem very pleasant, I would say. So we'll be back. This is a double, so we will be back after Christmas. We really hope you have a lovely time. Thank you for listening as always. And we will be back, next year. Wow, next year. Thanks for listening.